If you want to change your finances without picking up 5 different side hustles or somehow doubling your income overnight, then this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through my step-by-step 6-month plan on how you can change your finances. And to complete this plan, I created a free spreadsheet that is linked in the description that will walk you through what you need to do each month with various months at the bottom in tabs. To download your own copy, click File here at the top and make a copy. This is a no BS video, and if you watch it to the end, I can guarantee that you will have the information and tools that you need to change your financial life. Now, before we begin our 6-month plan, I want to first start off with the pre-plan, establishing your why. In order to stay motivated on this 6-month journey, I want you to first ask yourself the question, why do I want to get my finances under control? Maybe you want to provide a better life for your kids, or stop feeling so anxious about money, or to be able to do more stuff without feeling guilty. Establishing your why is an important component that will help you make it through this 6-month plan and to help you brainstorm some ideas. I created some possible answers on the first tab of the spreadsheet, and so whatever your reason is, write it down here. Start this off by establishing your why. And so now let's begin our 6-month plan, starting with month 1, which is about awareness and assessment. And our goal is to understand our current financial situation. Now, this first month is all about seeing where you are at financially, your income, your expenses, and where your money is going. Because you can't fix what you don't see. And so this first month, there are 2 things that I want you to do. The first thing is write down all your income. And so on the spreadsheet, we'll start on the second tab, and we'll look at this green table here and write down our income. So let's say we have a 9-to-5 job that is making us $4,000 a month after taxes. And let's say we're doing some Uber on the weekends, making an extra $500 a month. Whatever your income is, and most people watching this will probably just have one income, write it down on this chart. And the second thing that I want you to do this month is track all your spending. We need to know where our money is going. And so on the spreadsheet, here you will track all of your spending, filling out the various columns. Expense, let's say rent. Expense category from the drop down, this will be rent and mortgage. Spending type, a fixed expense meaning it's the same every month, and a variable expense meaning it's different every month. This is a fixed expense. Whether it's a want or a need, this is a need. And finally, the amount, which for me is $1,600. And as you fill it out, these charts will automatically populate. And so this is what you need to do the first month. Write down every penny that you spend for 30 days. And once you finish it, it'll look something like this. This is my spending from the last month with all my purchases. As you see, I have my total spending here, which is $3,861. I have a detailed breakdown of my categories, my fixed and variable expense ratio, and my want versus need ratio spending. And so these are the 2 things that I want you to do this month. Write down your income and track your spending. By the end of this month, you should have a clear picture with what's going on with your money. And once you can see it, then you can start to fix it. And let's do that by moving on to the second month, which is all about cutting back and budgeting. And our goal is to create a sustainable budget. So now that we recorded our income and tracked our expenses, we can now work on making some changes. And so this second month is all about creating a budget that suits your lifestyle. And in this second month, there are 2 things that I want you to do. The first thing is identify areas of cutback. So on the spreadsheet, we will now move on to the third tab of month 2, cutting back and budgeting. And here on step 1, you're going to analyze this chart and ask yourself, what areas surprise you? What categories added up faster than you expected? And what purchases felt wasteful? In this step, you're going to go through your expenses and find areas that you overspent in and try to cut back. For example, in my own budget, I'm surprised I spent $225 on eating out and could easily cut that in half. And so on this chart for expense category, I'll put eating out. And for potential amount saved, I'll put $125. Another category I spent in is groceries, as I spent $390. I might be able to cut that by $100. So I'll put groceries in $100 and so on. Go through this spending chart and see if there's any areas that you overspent in and how you can cut back. And you don't need to go extreme with this, but just trim the fat and cut out waste. And once you complete this table, you will have your new total spending, which is how much you can potentially save. And once you do that, the second thing that I want you to do this month is build your budget. In this step, we're going to give every dollar a purpose. And so on the chart, you will have various budgeting categories like saving, retirement, your mortgage, your rent, etc. And you will fill out this chart giving every dollar a purpose, putting your target spending amount. For example, my target savings amount is $300. Retirement contribution, $300. My rent is $1,600. So fill out the columns to create your budget, and in the end, it'll look something like this. And then using last month's data, you can fill out the actual spending column to see how realistic your budget is. Last month, I spent $1,600 on rent, $207 on transportation, $390 on groceries. And this will take some time and effort because fixing your finances ain't easy. But once you fill out this chart, we can look at the bottom here to see your total budget, total income, and the difference to see if it's a balanced budget. And these will automatically populate. Positive meaning we're living below our means, and negative meaning living above our means. The goal of this month isn't to be perfect and just suddenly have a flawless budget, but it's to start being more intentional with your money so you don't overspend and you have some money left over at the end of the month. And so those are the two things that I want you to do this month. Identify areas of cutback and create a budget. By the end of this month, you should have created a budget that eliminates a lot of waste and allows you to spend less than you earn. And so now let's move on to the third month, which is about structuring your financial system. And our goal is to make your money easier to manage through automation and organization. So now that you've tracked your expenses and created a basic budget, it's now time to create some order in your finances. And so this third month is all about creating a simple, repeatable system that allows you to have order in your finances. And so this third month, there are 3 things that I want you to do. First, organize your banking system. In order to stay on top of your finances, it's important to know which money is for spending and which money is for saving. And so it's important to organize your bank into separate accounts. Obviously, your spending money should be held in a checking account and your saving money should be held in a savings account. And it can be really as simple as just having these 2 accounts. The goal is just to make sure every dollar has a home. The second thing I want you to do is automate your bills and transfers. Now, to keep your finances organized, depending on your own beliefs, you might want to set up automatic payments on bills, like your rent, utilities, or subscriptions so you never miss a payment. Also, you might want to automate your savings, allowing you to transfer money directly to your savings account on a specific day. Automation helps prevent missed payments, late fees, and the mental burden of constantly moving money around. Doing all this just makes everything easier and a bit more efficient. And the third and final thing that I want you to do this month is create a weekly money ritual. Once a week, take 10 or 15 minutes just to check in on your finances. And this could be reviewing your bank balances, looking at your recent transactions, adjusting your budget if needed, tracking your weekly spending, and reflecting on how you feel about your spending that week. Just spend a short amount of time every week to make sure that you're staying on track and have order in your finances. And all these steps are on the spreadsheet. The goal of this month is just to create more order in your finances so you stay on top of your bills and on top of your goals. And so that is what I want you to do this third month. Organize your banking system, automate your bills and transfers, and create a weekly ritual. In this month, you should have created more structure in your financial life and not feel scattered. And so now let's move on to the fourth month, which is all about attacking high interest debt. And our goal this month is to create a plan to pay off high interest debt. Hopefully by this month, you have gotten in a good financial situation where you start to have extra money left over at the end of the month. And this month is all about using that extra money intentionally in your life. And the best place to start is using it to pay off high interest debt. And so this next month, there are 3 things that I want you to do. First, list out all your debts. So let's move on to this 5th tab down here. And on this chart, the first thing I want you to do is to fill out all your debts on the chart, listing the name of your debt, let's say Chase credit card, the amount owed $1,708, the minimum payment is $40, and the interest rate is 23.24%. Take the time to list out all your debts so you have a complete picture of what you owe. And the second thing I want you to do is choose your payoff strategy. And when it comes to paying off debt, there are 2 strategies. The first strategy is called the snowball method, where you start by paying off the smallest debt first while paying the minimum payments of the other debts. And the benefits of doing this is that it gives you quick wins and keeps you motivated. The second method is called the avalanche method, where you pay off the debt with the highest interest rate first while paying the minimum payments on the other debts. And the benefit of this method is it saves you the most money. So pick whatever method best fits your personality. And the third and final thing that I want you to do this month is execute your plan. And back to the chart, if you want to do the snowball method, then on the total amount owed tab, you'll simply click sort from A to Z, which will list your debt from lowest amount to highest. And you will focus on aggressively paying off this debt while making the minimum monthly payments on the others. Then move on to the next debt and repeat. And if you want to do the avalanche method, then on the interest rate tab, click sort Z to A, and it'll list your debts from highest to lowest interest rate. You will focus on paying off this debt aggressively while making the minimum monthly payments on the others, and then move on to the next one, and so on. And you're not going to pay off all your debt in this month, but the goal is to simply create a plan that sets you on the path to becoming debt-free. And those are the things I want you to do this month. List all your debts, choose your method, and execute. By the end of this month, you should have a solid plan on how you will become debt-free. And so now let's move on to the 5th month, which is all about beginning to invest. And our goal is to start to get your money to work for you. At this point in our journey, we have created much more order in our finances and are living in a much more sustainable way. And as you gain more stability in your financial life, you can focus on getting your money to work for you. And so this 5th month is all about getting your money to work for you, because your money is going to grow much quicker investing than it will by just sitting in a savings account. In this month, there are 3 things I want you to do. First, learn the basics of investing. Now, investing is a whole subject matter. It can get as deep as you want to go. But in order to get started with investing, there are three main things that you should know. The first thing is called compound interest, which means getting interest on the principal and interest on the interest. In the market generally, investments don't grow in a linear way, but they grow in an exponential way. And the more time you have invested, the larger the returns. The second thing that you should know when it comes to investing is something called index investing, which is an investment that tracks a market index like the S&P 500. Unlike a stock that is a share of a single company, an index fund is a basket of stocks that tracks a market index. And if you want to learn about index funds in detail, I created this video that you can watch after this one. And the third and final thing that you should know about investing are the different types of investment accounts. When it comes to investment accounts, you have retirement accounts like a 401k or 403b and a Roth IRA, and non-retirement accounts like a standard brokerage account. There's a lot that you can learn about investing, but those are really the three things that you need to know in order to get started. And the second thing that I want you to do this month is open an investment account. Now, we've spoken about the different types of investment accounts, and ideally, you want to have all these different investment accounts. But pick an investment account that best fits your needs right now and open one. And you can do this simply by going to one of the big brokerages like Fidelity, Vanguard, and Charles Schwab and open an account. And once you do that, the third and final thing that I want you to do this month is make your first investment. Now, when it comes to investing, it is risky and there's always the potential to lose money. So it's important to start with small amounts and start investing more as you become more comfortable. But this month, simply dip your toes in the water and start getting experience with investing. The goal of this month is to start to get your money to work for you. And those are the three things that I want you to do this month. Learn the basics of investing, open an account, and make your first investment. By the end of this month, you should start to be on the path to getting your money to work for you. And so now let's conclude this video with the final 6 months, which is all about setting long-term goals with the goal of creating a roadmap for your future financial success. By now, you have almost graduated the 6-month course of El Agustin. You probably ain't a millionaire yet, but you are on your way to a much more secure financial future. And this final month is all about setting goals, so your journey doesn't stop here. And so this final month, there are 2 things that I want you to do. First, set clear, measurable goals. On the final tab at the bottom, we have this chart that we can list our goals on. And here are some examples if you need them. And we can list our goals, give a time frame, and measure them in some way. For example, let's say our goal is to pay off $2,000 of credit card debt. Our time frame is 3 months, and the measurement is a balance of 0. Another goal is to save a 6-month emergency fund. The time frame is 12 months, and the measurement is a balance of $20,000. Take some time to list your goals, the time length you're going to give yourself to complete your goal, and what it means to have achieved that goal. And the second thing I want you to do this month is take action. Simply take action on your goals and don't let your dreams be dreams. And that is my 6-month plan. And if you follow it to the end, I can almost guarantee that you will be in a much better financial situation than when you started. Thank you so much for watching. Again, the spreadsheet, the free spreadsheet is linked in the description. If this provided you any value, give it a like, as this one is going to be a monster of an edit. And with that, muchas gracias. Que tenga un buen día. Nos vemos, chicos.